as a constant, as your new normal. And for me, that was a search that lasted many, many years. I started meditation right away. I didn't understand what meditation was. I didn't understand how it worked or the processes involved with evolving yourself to the recognition of yourself as unity consciousness. So I stumbled along for many, many years and did the best that I could without having anybody around to guide me, and without having any understanding. Of course, I made many mistakes and eventually stopped for some time because I kept running into the walls that I created in myself. I couldn't integrate those experiences. As wonderful as they were, I didn't know how to adapt them to myself as a human being, to integrate them. So eventually, after quitting meditation for a while, the urge to meditate returned to me, and I started meditating again, this time with the synchronicity technology, and those meditations were very powerful, but I also had someone that I could speak to, someone who could tell me what was going on and guide me through my own process. So with that understanding, it made a huge difference in my progress and in my experience, because I understood then that upheavals that come after the aha moments are simply the data that you still hold unconsciously that's incongruent with that experience must be either gotten rid of, or you must turn it around and redefine something about yourself that you're still holding on to so that it's commensurate with the awareness that you experienced in those aha moments, those breakthrough moments. And that was a great help to me. It still is, because I'm still integrating, and I will be integrating as long as I live, because that's my life now. I meditate every day. I question every day. I do the self-inquiry every day in terms of who am I in relation to whatever is happening, and the perceptions that still come up for me sometimes that are still kind of based on separation, and it's just the way it goes. And it's different for everybody. Some people can integrate very easily, some it's a lot more work, and for some the process involves physical discomforts, for some it's emotional, for some it's mental, or some it's just a combination of all these things. But it's a process that you go through simply because you know from your own experience that on the other side of that process, eventually the blissful experience will be more and more constant, and you begin to experience that bliss, even though something will come up and some data will come up that you still have to clear. But even while that's happening, even though it may be uncomfortable at some level, you still have a baseline of blissful being that carries you through. In other words, you get stronger and stronger in terms of the truth of who you are. So that which comes up that's not truthful has less and less power over you. And you can allow the process to go on without having a major disturbance in your life, if you will. And for some people, this is in the very beginning of this meditative journey, that can be impossible, because I've seen people who have come here and journeyed the journey with the energies that are here in the sanctuary, and in a short while they're gone. And it's not because there's anything wrong, it's simply because they took in everything they could, and now they have to integrate, and it's too much energy here for them to work with it, so they have to remove themselves for a while until they get fully integrated into what they already experienced with the energies that are here. So it's a process, that's all it is, and it has to happen for people in whatever way works for them. No wrong, no right, just the journey. And that's the journey that everybody here is on. You might say that the outside world is a reflection of your internal world in terms of where you are. The fragmentation that's showing up in the world today is simply a result of people attempting and failing to be satisfied and fulfilled with what they're doing and who they think they are. Their identifications are not real. Their experiences are fear-based, and they're going through a lot of upheaval because the world is not cooperating with what their ideals were or are. And this is the common human experience before people wake up and have the experience in themselves of blissful consciousness. So, but once you get there, once you get that, then the journey shifts dramatically for yourself, and everything is more positive, of course, because you've got that experience to reference in yourself, and so your baseline is automatically shifted from no awareness of unity consciousness to some awareness of it, and then it just continues to grow from there. So all is one. Look around and see yourself as a contemplation that you can reference to see where your feet are in relation to this process. So if you can't see anything but the other, if you have no experience of being unified with the other, then that's just where you are. And if you meditate and if you live the holistic lifestyle, if you give yourself to that process, eventually you'll get there. And that's what the whole message is with the contemplation and with life itself, because that's what life is here. It's an expression of consciousness, a creation of consciousness, and we are consciousness. So there's no other in truth, but there's nothing but the other in the illusion of the other. So that's what I really wanted to share with you today on this Thanksgiving week, and to give you something maybe to be thankful for, that irregardless of your experience, whether it's satisfying or whether it's not satisfying, if it's painful or if it's very loving and fulfilling, either way, you are on your way to being the truth of who you are, simply because that is the truth of who you are, and you can't get away from it, no matter how hard you try. So that's what I wanted to share this morning, and I will be back again next Tuesday morning to share another contemplative focus with you. Thank you so much for watching.